Yo, 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 hello. Happy Monday. Can I trick you with that?
Not a
JK,
Monday, Ivan. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
Thank you for reminding me. Hello.
Hello. How are we doing?
Excellent. Excellent.
Excellent. Yeah. Another Wednesday, another beautiful, beautiful summer day for us to share the show with you guys. Thanks for joining us. My name's Evan, at EbDogCrypto on Twitter. I work for Sarson Funds as an analyst, and I'm joined by my co-host, Ivan.
Hey, everyone. Ivan Dimov here, CMO of the American Crypto Academy. And yeah, looking forward to what we're going to jump into discussing again today and some of the latest and greatest that's surfacing on the top of the digital asset space. Looking forward to it. And no surprise, we're going to talk Upland because it's Genesis week at Upland next week. And everyone's flying over to Vegas, and I'm a little envious. But I'll save my Vegas trip. And it's been a week, and this is show 13. We're going to jump into digital assets, smart assets, collectibles, stuff that Evan and I like and enjoy. And as a reminder, everything we share is for educational and informational purposes, not to be considered financial advice. Do seek your financial advisor and send them over to Evan's team at Sarson Funds to understand more and learn and bring you access to a lot of what we talk about. Definitely a volatile market, so be ready.
Ivan, you forgot, you said educational, you said informational. What about entertainment, dude? That's what this is all about, bro.
That's a given. Yeah, we're here to have fun.
That's right.
We're here to have fun.
And have fun we will, man. This is going to be an exciting show. We've got some awesome stuff to talk about and share with you guys. Ivan, so you got Upland coming up. What else do you have to share with us tonight?
Upland, Mercedes-Benz has finally announced that they're entering the Web3 space. And I think, in my opinion, they have a unique approach, unlike what we've seen thus far. And you and I have discussed auto manufacturers on a previous show. Maybe I'll link to that when I update the description later. But excited to talk about that. And maybe Meme Land. I've had Meme Land on my list. I'll be honest, I haven't done my own research yet, but I thought if we have time, I'll bring it up and we'll look a little bit at that. It sounds fun, exciting, and I want to know more, especially when we're still a little bit into meme coin season, even though it's kind of like getting quieter or whatever. There's new meme tokens coming out every day. So what about you?
All right, so we're going to be talking a little bit about Bonk Inu. It's the community token of Solana, quote unquote. Lots of
meme coins.
Yeah, speaking of meme coins. But I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of the different approach that they're taking to this, bringing you like real utility to the token. So that's really cool. Also going to talk about SUPERCELL, some founding members from that team. They're a mobile developer mobile development company that have built some of the biggest mobile games ever. They're coming to Web3 with their new game Army of Fortune. We're going to watch a video about that and kind of talk a little bit about what I think some of these mobile games are going to do moving forward. And then if we have time at the end, I also want to talk a little bit about these Apple VR headset rumors and what that might mean for the AR VR ecosystem moving forward. So it should be a great show. I'm super pumped to get kicked off here. Do we want to go ahead and start with Upland, or did you want me to kick it off here, Ivan?
Kick it off. Let's talk memes.
All right, let's start with the memes. So Bonk Inu has been a huge token in the Solana ecosystem since what was it? It was before Christmas, before the end of the year, that they actually began airdropping to different communities within the Solana ecosystem. And they've been working to build utility for a long time. And utility for a meme coin, that sounds kind of crazy, but I'll show you kind of what I mean. So Bonk actually
doesn't sound crazy. Shiba did it, and
that's true.
Doge did it, or they're doing it anyway. We're still waiting, but yeah, not crazy at all. I'm all about that.
Heck yeah. I mean, everybody that can support it, and that's the whole point, is going from these meme tokens to community tokens is what they're starting to call these tokens that are a little bit more wider scale. And one of the tools that is really enabling people to access Bonk when they're, maybe native on another blockchain, like you, Ivan, you're a big Wax guy. You're more on the EVM side as well. You're able to now bridge through the wormhole connect bridge from Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimism, and a few other chains, and actually buy Bonk directly through this bridge, which is something that is really enabling this liquidity to kind of enter the market in a different way. So it's very cool.
So you can buy using any crypto? Bonk.
Not every crypto, but a lot of cryptos, yeah. A lot of cryptos.
And is that like an Ethereum bridge? Is there the usual gas transaction fee, or is this on Solana?
Yeah, so I'll pull it up here so we can kind of actually walk through a little bit of what that process might look like, but you are going to be paying the transaction fee of the chain that you're leaving from. So the way that Wormhole works is kind of like a bucket swap. Have you ever used a bucket swap, Ivan, where you're basically creating a trade and then there is a bucket system is what they call it, so that on the other chain there's assets waiting for you and you have to then claim them. So similar system here, where basically you're able to connect your wallet. Say you're going from Ethereum mainnet, you're able to select, I want to trade 1 Ethereum for a metric butt ton of Bonk, and then you would connect your Solana wallet and you could then engage that trade. You have to wait on this screen as the transaction processes and everything, and then you're able to pay your gas and then approve and proceed. So it's pretty...
But it's Ethereum gas though, right?
You're paying the Ethereum gas to send it, and then you're paying the Solana gas to claim it, but Solana gas is pretty negligible, as we've all come to know. So yeah, you're still paying that whatever, $30, $40, $50 on Ethereum, unfortunately. But very cool update in partnership with the Wormhole team. Those guys are super, super talented. And to go on to some other utility that these guys are building, they're building Bonkade. It's an arcade that's built around the Bonk token, using that to play these different games. They are partnered with Darknet, the antisocial JPEGs team. They have created a actual demo of what this might look like in a very, very base layer, very base format. But you'll be able to basically play casual games and then play wagered games. And I bet you guys can guess what token we're going to use to be wagering on these games.
Bonk?
Good old Bonk. Good old Bonk.
I just like saying Bonk.
I mean,
Bonk.
It works, right? That's part of the reason why it's caught on so much, is just being able to really get in with the meme. I mean, they had a Bonk SBF. It wasn't even a game. It was just a burning mechanism, and you could basically share on Twitter how many times you bonked SBF. It was 10 bonk per bonk on his head, and it was a little animation, and people just loved it, and there was literally $100,000 worth of bonk burned in a couple weeks. So just that alone was amazing to me. But yeah, this is what this arcade game is gonna kind of look like. This is just a super early beta platform, so there's not a whole lot of activity or customization that's happened yet. This is just kind of their demo that they've shared with everybody. So I'm super pumped to see what they can come up with. These guys that are behind Bonk, they call them the core contributors because there's not really a team. There's just people that kind of got it off the ground, and now the community is taking it to the next level. So there's a whole bunch of different partnerships and stuff that are happening, and projects that are integrating Bonk into their systems to either burn or redistribute in a more dispersed manner, so that the more holders Bonk can get, the better and more strong the community can be. Obviously, not financial advice. It's definitely coming from a very fun and playful part of crypto that this token is really attached itself to on the Solana chain.
Do you know what I find funny is their anti-socials name and the fact that they are, building a community token is kind of like, I don't know, a little bit of a clash in the branding there for me.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely get that. That's a good point. These guys are super talented, though. I'm super pumped to see what they can come up with, because I don't believe that Bonk is going to be their only partner. They're just they're going to be creating these arcade ecosystems for a bunch of different people. I'll drop them a follow here, but super cool. I'm any sort of utility that you can see around these tokens that are honestly doing their best to uplift the community is good on me. I appreciate those kind of utilities and use cases for these cryptos.
So yeah, this reminds me of a little bit of what, and I'll touch on it when we talk about Upland, but what we can finally talk about with regards to the X NFT and their game that we've teased before and shared info on. And so there's a mechanism there where you pay the in-game token to play. In-game token you earn in many ways throughout Upland, but that you pay it, and then you can either win it and win that back more, or lose it, obviously, if you don't perform well. And I think it's starting off with one-on-ones, but we'll talk more about that here. I guess we'll jump into Upland if you're done. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, that's about all I have. There's tons of stuff going on in the Bonk community. If you guys are interested at all in these Solana tokens, I believe Bonk's definitely one of the leaders on Solana. Their Telegram's super active and stuff. That's where I hang out and conversate with fellow G-Gens. So it's a good time.
All right, I gotta find my screens here and bring them up. And so there we go. So I'm gonna share this. And for those of you tuning in, welcome. We're just getting started. You just missed the Bonk discussion.
Bonk.
And now we're gonna go Upland. I just sounded like a gecko. I just realized in the echo that I hear, but not your echo, my own echo. That echoes on purpose. So, open a new tab. Oh, it's only sharing that tab. Okay, so I gotta switch the tabs. I'm sorry. I swear I'm gonna learn here. Stop screen.
We'll try on there.
So I can't. I guess I can't. That's the difference. There's a difference of sharing a window versus sharing a tab. It's just that one tab, and so when you switch around, it doesn't. That's what was tripping me up a little bit. But Upland is, for those of you not familiar, I'm a big fan. Been trying to introduce Evan to it for a while. He kind of got in, but I'm not sure if he's figured it out yet and played enough.
I'm still just collecting my UpX every week or so and just waiting. But at some point, I will definitely get more involved. I'm excited to see what you got to share with us.
Upland is a property trading game, one of the first. It's been around for at least 2 to 3 years at this point. And it was built on the basis of Monopoly, but it obviously is not as simple as Monopoly. That's a real quick synopsis of it. It goes a lot deeper than that. And so because they're constantly growing and providing updates, me being a big fan and jumping in there probably on daily basis, I'll go in on my phone at least once to collect rent, to see if there's any property trades or deals going on or whatnot, and collect my bonus. Like there's a daily login bonus for Spark, which is another in-game token. But it's Genesis week this week in Upland, and so with that, there's a lot of events and they like to launch a lot of and introduce a lot of new. How many times can I say a lot of in one sentence? They like to introduce new features and options and completed goals that they've been working towards to, and or even launch new cities. Usually, last year I remember Genesis Week. I was at Consensus in Austin, and they launched Las Vegas, and I was walking around the conference holding my tablet, trying to buy property or waiting for properties to start minting so I can buy some. But it got pushed and delayed, and I even went outside and tried to sit and wait for a better signal. It was a mess, but it was fun. So this year during Genesis Week, they're releasing Berlin, and
Okay.
that's one of the first news. So hold on, if I can't change it, I can probably paste within this tab. Yeah, there you go. And Berlin is the next city to come. I wasn't prepared because I just spent some money on buying London and now Berlin, and I feel like I have a little bit of FOMO, and I may still explore traveling there because I'm already in Europe. This is Friday, June 9th. So Friday, June 9th is when Berlin launches. It's a vanilla mode, which means easy and cheap properties. And it's usually vanilla modes are reserved for new players. Remember, I've talked about the Fair Starting Act, FSA properties.
Yeah.
Those are there's so vanilla. No, I'm speaking error here. FSA is only 20%. Usually, in the cities like start a city like what Birmingham in England was that had a lot more than 20%. So I've got my facts wrong or something. I'm confused, but doesn't matter. Another city opening in Berlin next week. Genesis week, I think, starts. It's Wednesday and Thursday is the in life meetup. So this, or maybe Wednesday to Friday, and Wednesday is one of the virtual events, because I know usually they open it right at the end or during the last day of the Genesis week at the conference.
Okay.
I'm really curious. I don't know if I've talked much about this, but you can also, with every new city, one of the first things they sell is the transport stations or terminals. And so you can buy the airport terminals or the train stations, and there's always train stations. And that creates an opportunity because there's only so many of them in each city. There's usually 4 to 6 train stations, maybe 3, 4, 5 airport terminals, and everybody needs to travel back and forth. And as a train station or an airport terminal owner, you get to collect fees. Okay, so here there's 9 train terminals and 9 airport terminals, and so I've been really curious. I think that's the next one to explore for me, and it is definitely an investment, but again, it's this game was designed to engage and pay back over time. They do have an off fiat ramp or off ramp to fiat via PayPal, and I think one other service. And you can also use credit card to purchase it in addition to PayPal. So very easy in and outs. These are the travel routes available. Airport Berlin. So yeah, there's going to be plane, train, and automobiles. We're still waiting for automobiles. And this is the rest of the schedule. But this is the new city. Not the most exciting part of all of this because there's a lot going on. Upland has announced a plethora of different things that they've hinted about different things that they're going to release around Genesis Week. But one of them being is our very own partners that we've partnered up with to provide education through their 3D and AR platform being built by an ex-lead developer from Blizzard and Activision, Lieutenant Dan. DX has finally made the news on front page with coming to Upland and introducing their X range, where everyone's going to be able to participate and compete one-on-one or tournament modes to win in-game tokens while fighting or not fighting while participating in this in the X range. What's an X range? It's a range. It's a gun range, and we have a little video here I can share. Let me see if I can turn down this for a second and play this intro video. How is it? I need to probably make it bigger, huh? Hold on. Please hold. Please
there you
go. And this has been a long time in the making, and I'm really excited about it. You'll be able to manage your loadout and go to the metaphor.
That is so cool.
And really exciting news, because it's a fun game, and it's an amazing developer that's coming into one of my favorite games, and probably a little biased because I play in there, but it's a big deal. And the American Crypto Academy has partnered up with the X in order to provide educational content in their academy right into the fort, which hasn't, we haven't seen everything about the fort yet because there's a lot of partners in there that haven't been announced, and so it's hard to show everything without releasing alpha, even though Lieutenant Dan has done some plugs of Upland in there with the development that we've seen before, but nobody caught that thing and called it out. No, I'm still amazed by that, because it was on. If he would do this demo where there's this virtual table and it looks like a map, like a war map, but there's characters all over it and there's some flags in the backgrounds, and the Upland flag was waving. It's like, hello.
It was there right in front of our eyes the whole time.
Yes. But wait, that's not all. There's more that just came out, I think, today, if not yesterday. I don't know. Days merge, and today was a long day. It was probably, I don't know when it was, though I can never bet my life on it. But there's one more piece of news with Upland that is taking the game to yet another level. And watch this. Preparing for life in Upland. I was like, what does that mean? Now, Upland team has always talked about and teased how eventually we'll have 3D buildings and businesses, and you can run multiple different businesses from each location, including coffee shops and whatnot, and other businesses. And in order to run a business, you're going to have a business license. Business licenses are digital assets that are owned by individuals. They can be used by that individual or leased out for others to use in order to run a business. And so we've still been waiting for that. We're still waiting for cars to have functionality outside of the game that they're introducing. I think that's in beta right now. And the fact that we can't use cars right now to travel with, which would then run on the SPARC token, which is the other gaming in-game token. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they are introducing life in Upland, and they're introducing a new token called STEM. And with that, they're introducing another digital asset that they're referring to as a protum. Kind of like, to me, it sounds like a totem, but a protum, not a totem. And the protums represent living beings within the game, like dogs or cats or birds. They haven't really identified what all living things we're going to see with this release. But they're also going to be one of ones. There's going to be 5 different, five different assets that, or 5 different attributes that are going to be mixed up. And so you get a one-of-one protum, which you have to, because it's a live being, you have to basically feed it, and you feed it by giving it stem. And based on the type of proton, because they're all one of ones, they're going to have different sort of balances of how you take care of them and keep up their well-being. So, and they're going to reward you based on that. They reward you more stem token. And
Okay.
this is in a nutshell them introducing and testing out a play on bringing life to the game. Before they launch the stem token, they're going to introduce. Wait, oh, it is totems. I'm sorry, I misspoke. So everything I said was about the totems, but the Protom is the test token of STEM before they launch the full functionality. So Protom's going to be limited release just to test it out. It will be tradable 1-to-1 for the STEM, and the STEM is the token that you feed the totems, and the totems are the living creatures. Sorry, I was
gotcha. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah, here's what I was looking for the 5 attributes, and I'm like, they're a 1 of 1, and I was pointing to this 1 of 1 because I wasn't reading, I was just trying to highlight it. And so they'll have these different 5 attributes that they're going to get mixed and matched and creating a unique character for everyone. And with that, there will be Genesis totems. Let me see if I can play this video. I actually haven't watched this video yet. I didn't have a chance, but I did read this article. I found it interesting. Although there was some there was some FUD around the announcement because they're releasing a new function. Okay, but that wasn't nearly as exciting as I thought it was going to be. It didn't transform, didn't come to life. A little disappointing in that video. But it's nonetheless a new functionality, a new addition, a new opportunity to create for, creators to create different types of assets. And they're going to start with the Genesis totem, which they say they're going to be releasing those once a year, every year during Genesis Week. So one of a kind, highly exclusive Genesis totem to one lucky player. Oh, so there's gonna be just one Genesis totem. Never mind. It's gonna have
totem. I like that.
All of the favorable behaviors or those attributes.
That's cool. I like when they do the 1 of 1, like one lucky winner is gonna win this, and it's gonna be like the Grail of all Grails. I think that's awesome.
So that's Upland. For sake of, I'll just show the world real quick for sake of folks that haven't seen Upland before, and since we're talking about it, why not? Oh no! Wait, what? Oh, that's why. I'm like, why? Log me in. Okay. Oof. I'm like, why? I don't know my password. Buses. Bicycles. Oh my god. Oh, you're not seeing this. Oh, I'm in a different. Oh my.
It's in a different tab, my guy.
Okay, my guy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
It's
coming.
okay.
I'm coming. I was logging in and it was giving me capture. That's what the crazy nonsense buses I was talking about in bikes.
We're definitely gonna have to get used to this new thing, the tabs.
Well, but I just logged in.
There we go.
All right. And there's Birmingham. I missed the second launch. I think I mentioned it before that they were adding more to Birmingham, and I missed that, so I didn't buy any more properties. But now we'll be going to Berlin. Where's Berlin? And every time I say the name Berlin, I think of Euro Trip and that movie when the characters were hitchhiking to Berlin, and the truck driver picked them up, and he says a bunch of stuff like he's never going to step foot in Berlin, so they're thinking they're going to Berlin, and they end up in Bratislava. You know what I'm talking about? I love that movie.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, we're getting deeper into Europe. That's exciting. I like that they switched it up a little bit away from the US.
There's definitely a ton of land that they can. I mean, it's the whole world. At some point, do you think that they're going to have cities in most countries?
Oh yeah, they're going to be everywhere.
Well, good.
I mean, they're already starting. Like, because of travel, they've opened up Qatar, or at least Doha, or at least partially anyway. Let me see, highlight here the neighborhoods. Yeah, no, it's just one neighborhood, so it's not fully open, but so, and with, they have a bunch of cities now in South America. And obviously they started with the US, so that's the heaviest. But we've been to Spain or to Europe before, like Portugal. Lisbon opened up, but I didn't make that. I didn't get on that bandwagon. I don't know. And Berlin's kind of soon. My stack's a little short right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. If I feel like they're ramping up the amount of cities that they're releasing, or am I just new and don't understand how their release schedule, Ivan?
They try to do it based on economy and what they monitor and demand and how the previous city does, and so they try to do it sustainably, so they don't crash the economy and release a lot of property where all of a sudden people are reselling them for like it makes no sense and like people are upset about it. And so that's why they've done it in a controlled manner. Scalability is another factor with being able to up their servers so that they can handle more traffic, and so that when minting happens and there's a lot of demand and a lot of people there, people can have more stable and better experience. And so they are always fine tuning it, and every release is a learning mechanism for them where they adjust moving forward.
Amazing, dude. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the right way to run a community that's building for the long term, right? They want this economy to be sustainable for, years and years at this point. So I think that's the right way to look at it and the approach to take. That's really cool, man. So you're gonna try and get some in Berlin then? You think you're gonna go for it and actually travel over there and commit?
So maybe let's see, what was their price listed here. Berlin classifies as a large size medium priced city, so it's medium priced, so it's not going to be the cheapest, but maybe the lots are going to be small enough. So, and because there's free travel, every new city they release as of the past probably 3 or 4 cities that I can recall from. Anyway, now they offer free travel like the day before. That way, I don't know, it saves a buck or two for folks too, depending on where they're located to travel. Because the further you are, obviously the more it costs to travel within the game. So I might as well. I'm already in Europe, and it looks like Birmingham sold out, and I don't like buying resale because it's all about buying minting and then growing your real estate empire from there. So I'm definitely gonna at least travel to Germany and see what my bag has at that point and how much I can spend. And depending if I feel generous, I don't know, 10, $20. I may throw another 10, $20 on it, but you know, we'll
For
see.
sure.
We'll see. I'll travel there. It's not gonna cost me anything, and I'll explore, see what I can jump on. It's nice because then, more properties. You have higher monthly earnings, which then allows you to buy more properties. And I'm still like, I want to have enough of a coming in-game token coming in to where I can have a stack when Florida opens and I can go to town on Miami.
That's the real estate you want to be involved in. Am I right? So
it's going to be so expensive.
It's going to be so bad, dude.
If London was anything to judge by, like, Miami's going to be expensive. But then I'm also going to wait in Bulgaria. I'll buy Bulgaria up. I don't see anyone lining up for Sofia, maybe because it's a new city. So maybe I'll be a Bulgarian mogul.
There you go, dude. There you go.
But I'm not. Here's my stack. I've got. Where is it? Where's the properties? Was it here? Yeah, 191 properties, almost at 200, and about 8.2 million away from hitting the next milestone. So I've got a lot of work to do to get to the next level from director to an executive.
It's a grind, man. It's a grind, but long time horizons makes it fun, right? Little by little.
And I've talked about the collections, right? Let's
Yeah,
see,
you
I'm
have in the
looking at
past, but you probably
these.
should touch on it. You mentioned that it's Monopoly related. I'm sure some people are curious.
So here's every city has its own collection. I'm currently in Birmingham, which is why it's starting with that. And when you have different types of collections, some of them are a lot more limited and reward higher. They multiply it. Not only does it give you a reward if you collect, so let's say if I have three neighborhoods in the Soho Road, I get a reward, and then it boosts those three properties that I satisfied this collection with by 2.39 times the earnings, the monthly earnings combined of those three properties. And so those are the collections, and I haven't explored them since they were released. So I'm gonna check real quick, see if I satisfy any of these. I strongly doubt it. Okay, this one's done, and so the only one I can complete is just three random properties in Birmingham. And so now what I want is what I should consider here is which one is the biggest ones. And so pick the biggest ones based on size, because the bigger they are, the more they pay per month. And so with the boosted earnings, obviously I'll be maximizing those earnings. So that's where the collection, you have these two earnings. When you boost a property, that's what you collect with it. But if the property is bigger, it pays higher. So then therefore your boosting applied to a larger size property is significantly more beneficial. So this is size 46. This is 57. This is 132.
Oh, wow. Got a few big ones.
Well, that's what he said. 111. 89. All right, so the last three in this set are the ones to go with. So I'm going to pick them to fill. Oh, shoot.
Oh, did
The
they
last
rearrange?
three. Okay, this and then Hockey Hill. And so now I'm done. I've completed this collection. I get my low reward. And I boost those earnings.
Amazing.
Gimme my 45 cents. And so those are the collections. And there, now I put another collection on my. See over here, your avatar, your not avatar, but your explorer. When you explore around with it, it highlights what your collection is. So it has like a little. I have 15 regular collections and three. What are they? What's the purple one? I guess rare. These limited.
Oh yeah,
limited. So I have 25, 15 standard, 16 standard, and three. Whatever I just said. Limited. Upland, and now we're gonna have little bunnies running around. That's gonna be interesting to see how that applies, because since we don't have avatars running around, but we're gonna have other animals, and then we got to take care of them. Sounds a little involved. Hope doesn't take too much time to take care of this life thing. I hope it doesn't cost too much money, and to mint, it's gonna be interesting. Let's see what happens and where it goes, and how the community feels.
What, Ivan? You don't want a metaverse Tamagotchi pet? What? Come on, dude.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm first to admit when friends would give me a lot of shit when I play some of my games, because a lot of them seem like work to them, because I like building stuff and calculating stuff and like making parks and rides and tycoons and running lemonade stands and virtual businesses, and they're like, oh my god, you're working, that's so much work. Or even building a city in like City Skylines, my all-time favorite game. That's so much work, because you got to give them everything, and they complain. You got to give them services and educate them, and yeah.
I mean, that when you think about it like that, it does sound a little bit like work. But I know what you mean. I love the grind too, man.
I like that grind. You will never catch me grinding in World of Warcraft or on a Tamagotchi. Like that thing's gonna die. I'm sorry.
I love it. Well, maybe the bunny rabbit might not be for you, but it's worth a try. Worth seeing what it's about. Awesome, man. Those are some cool updates to Upland, man. I think that this, I need to get it working on my computer. I'm still running into issues. I tried logging in a couple weeks ago, and it only lets me do it on my phone. Like it won't let me do it on my computer at all. I don't know if there's something about my account, or maybe I don't know. I've tried 3 different browsers. It's just something weird's going on. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, they do have support and can help you out if anything on their end, but definitely let's get on a call together and try together, see what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm down. Sounds good, man. Awesome. Well, I want to share a little bit about a different game, one I mentioned at the beginning of the show, being created by the original SUPERCELL founders, the people that brought us Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, all of those amazing games that we came to love. I mean, there was tons of them. I couldn't even list off all the games that they've created. They're still making new games. But so basically, this game is going to be called Army of Fortune, and they're creating it as a metaverse. They're calling it AOF verse, which is interesting. I'm not sure if they understand exactly how games fit into the metaverse, but I'm definitely here for it. These guys know how to develop mobile games. That's for sure.
To me, that you may not remember this because you're too young, but to me that screams America Online.
Oh yeah. I get that with the AO. Yeah, that makes sense. It's interesting. But so basically, they're creating this little universe. It's called AOF verse, and they're creating a game that's called Army of Tactics. So this is the actual game itself, Army of Tactics, and they've been releasing little sneak peek videos of what the gameplay looks like and whatnot. We're gonna share a short video, 3 minutes or so, about kind of what the game's about and how it's going to actually work logging in for the first time. I'm hoping to get you guys some private beta gameplay for one of our next upcoming shows. So that would be really awesome if I could do that. And bring that for you guys. But coming from some of the developers that created Clash of Clans and some of these other games, I'm super pumped to see what they can create and how they can incorporate Web3 into that, right? Like that's one of the things that I've been trying to compare to for people. Like a lot of the friends that I used to play Clash of Clans and Clash Royale with is like, what if you could actually own those assets and things that you're earning in game, or be able to sell your gems, or being able to transact, and it kind of clicks for them a little bit. And now having the same team that created those games that are so familiar to them, I'm hoping this will be an awesome bridge for people. So I'm going to go ahead and share my tab here.
So I'm excited. I've been up until recently playing Clash of Clans, and I kind of I'm a little over that, and some of my friends stopped playing it, and so it wasn't as fun when you don't have the whole crew. But so it'd be exciting to see a Web3 version of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the whole thing, is being able to bring your friends in and really get everybody involved and active. And I think that that's what this game and games similar to this are going to be able to do. So here's a little how to play and what the game's going to look like. So if anybody's interested, their closed beta is actually still accepting applications. I checked on their website earlier. So if you're interested, definitely look up their Twitter, Army of Tactics, and check it out. You might be able to enter. So
welcome to Army of Tactics. Army of Tactics is an auto-battler strategy mobile game where you can build and command your army. This small town is the starting point of your legendary journey, and your adventure begins now. Now let me introduce some basics of the game. Click on the avatar in the top left corner. The menu will appear. Here you can find some information and set the game as you like. This is your trophies and arena level. Trophies will be awarded after you win the battle, and the arena level will be upgraded after accumulating a certain number of trophies. These are your coins, which are the key to starting a battle. Each attack will cost coins, and you'll be rewarded with coins after winning a battle.
Time to get stuck in. Now, let's tap the battle icon to start. In the course of the battle, I will introduce the specific gameplay. We took the lead to bring real-time battles into Web3 gaming. Get ready to immerse yourself in war with our groundbreaking auto-battler. The battle screen is divided into 2 parts. The upper half is the opponent's deployment area, and the lower half is our deployment area. Here is your mana. Deploying cards will consume mana points. Effectively using your mana will require some strategic thinking. Your active battle deck will appear here, and each card has its own characteristics. Tank units can be placed in the front row to absorb damage, Units with high DPS and low health need to be placed in the back row to stay protected. Here is the extra health the army will get. Deploying units within a certain time will give them a health bonus. The more time that passes, the smaller the bonus you will receive. You will receive a big bonus if you deploy cards quickly, but your enemy will know your strategy and react accordingly. Finding the right balance could be the key to victory. Let's see how this army performs. Well done, your army wins this turn easily. At the end of each round, you will be rewarded with some mana points. If you win, you will get 15 mana points, and if you lose, you will get 25. When you win 3 rounds in battle, you will be victorious and rewarded a chest. In the chest, you might find coins, trophies, and cards. Extra cards can be used to upgrade units.
Coins are used to start a battle and upgrade cards. Trophies showcase your success. As you accumulate trophies, your arena level will increase and more powerful cards will be unlocked. This is your battle deck. Here you can choose cards and form your army. You can save up to 3 battle decks. Each one contains up to 8 cards. Each card has its rarity, characteristics, and mana cost. Use your tactics to build a strong army. After building your deck, you can tap Test Deck to practice. This can help you better understand the strength of your deck. Not sure which units to pick? Don't worry, tap on the info button to see everything you need to know. Currently, we have 39 cards for you to choose from. Keep winning to improve your arena level and unlock powerful cards to optimize your deck. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial and are excited to see you in Army of Tactics. Enter the game now and start your legendary journey. Welcome to Army of Tactics.
So it's not AOF, it's AOT?
It's AOT, I guess. AOF is the universe.
AOF.
Army of Fortune. So they're going to create lots of games under the Army of Fortune brand.
Oh, where did that screen go?
Which
Golden
one?
Evan. The one you were just sharing. All right. Talk to us. How much do you know? What about it is digital assets?
That's the question I was
tokenized?
gonna hopefully kind of bounce around with you because I'm not seeing any.
Well, they didn't say any, and so I was waiting for them to say like these cards you can own is a digital asset, and
Own
there's
and
gonna be
trade. But
varieties and
I'm
trade,
not
but
seeing that.
they didn't say any of that. They just said collect cards, and here's some in-game tokens that you gotta earn the tokens to play with. And so like now is the token maybe a blockchain token?
I guess I don't know. I thought that the tokens and the cards would be both NFTs or tokens and NFTs, but this is interesting that they haven't shared with us specifically what is coming in that, like, because they mentioned Web3, so there's definitely that approach that's being taken. It's just a matter of what that's actually going to look like, and I'm not sure we've gotten that yet. Maybe I can give a better idea for you guys when we get into the closed beta, and hopefully we can interact with some of that Web3 stuff. Maybe it's connecting a wallet, and maybe that wallet is spread throughout all of the different games in the Army of Fortune metaverse. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the same tokens across all the games. There's a lot of possibilities that I think could be the case, but if they're making a whole new pivot point and creating this new brand under Army of Fortune, I think that they have a plan for the wider Web3 vision.
And so the game they're releasing, it's not that little village they showed was just for this game. It's not the AOF verse per se, or a representation of the AOF verse.
Exactly.
Offers.
I might have to listen back to this Magic Eden space. I must have missed this and see if they mentioned anything about it. They probably only talked for a few minutes, but I'm definitely gonna take a look at that.
All right.
Well, cool. That's some stuff that's happening in the traditional gaming space, bringing it into Web3 and bringing some developers that we all know and love. So, the possibilities there are huge. I'm hoping that they can do something big. I mean, announcing that you're doing this in the middle of the bear market is definitely a builder's approach to this. So I'm hopeful.
Let's go. It's going to be fun to see what happens. No, I think the studio is capable of a lot, and the fact that they haven't announced it, a lot of developers are taking that approach now, where they want to make a fun game and then put it out there, available on the App Store, and then integrate blockchain technology and aspects into it, with be it rewards or digital assets that you can own.
Yeah.
So definitely looking forward to seeing what happens, what turns out.
Definitely. There's a lot of possibility there. I mean, and the fact that they have multiple other games in their header on Twitter, the possibilities are there. They're probably not just going to launch this one. So definitely follow AOFverse on Twitter to check it out and stay up to date with what's going on there.
All right. What's next?
What is next, Ivan? You got something else for us? Maybe a little vroom vroom related?
Yeah, let's talk about Mercedes-Benz. First of all, the update here is that Mercedes-Benz started teasing on their regular Twitter, I believe, that they're getting into Web3, and then they launched this website, which is kind of creative, a little bit confusing at first how to explore, but it's a creative website. And they started talking about their ecosystem and the team that's driving this project for them. They're calling it NXT, Mercedes-Benz NXT. The domain is I'll share it here in the chat, but the domain is nxt.mercedes-benz.com. Say that fast 3 times.
I won't. Not on video.
Let me switch this banner also. I'll throw it on there. So NXT Mercedes-Benz, they're joining Web3, and it's kind of exciting. And I like their approach compared to some of the other projects or manufacturers we've seen enter the space. I celebrate all of them joining and exploring and learning. But I like Mercedes' approach, coming to the community via their social media and start teasing, start introducing, start talking about what they're doing and how they're going to do it, and potentially what will entail, and the fact that they're going to work, get into collaborations and other projects outside their main project. But with that, of course, they're going to have to introduce Mercedes brand first, and they've spent a lot of time on what they're calling the machine, and working with an artist and working with folks that design vehicles and cars or wheels. And you'll see from the design why I bring that up. I haven't watched this video. I'm not doing the right settings. I want to see how long it is, just real quick. So it's 3 minutes, so we can watch potentially this video and get an intro to it from somebody else's. But where I discovered is on they finally released, when was this thread released? May 30th. So yesterday they came out releasing the design. Keep in mind, these images are, wait, I can't make it big. These images are low resolution, so we're not getting what the actual asset will look like. But from my understanding is it's an art piece based on a spinning wheel, and working with those artists and engineers, maybe who deals with wheels.
Yeah, I would guess it's mechanical engineers. Yeah.
Here you go. And so we're getting some really cool, unique assets that we haven't seen before. And they're not just making a car. Like, oh, here's your vroom vroom little car. Call it an asset, and let's go. They spent, just like we saw when we talked about Bugatti, the auto manufacturer, a couple of episodes back. They've spent a lot of time and effort on the art itself.
That's awesome. I mean, it definitely looks like it's a collectible piece. It looks like actual art, what you would expect digital art to be. So, that's, I think, going to strike a chord a little bit more than some of these other releases from some large brands. And Matt actually, attracts some collectors that overlap in the Mercedes-Benz car collector community. You know what I mean?
I'm curious. Should we check this video out?
Yeah, if you want to. You want to pop it out in a new tab?
Yep. Stop. Present. Share. That's it. Oh, wait. I didn't bring it up.
There we go.
Hi, I'm Harm van den Dorpel. I've been active as an artist for as long as I can remember. I used to play with the computer of my father, who worked at the stock exchange. I often broke his computer. I studied AI for a bit and went to art school, where I studied time-based media. I think I went from studying software engineering to art school because at the university people didn't really like the images I was making. But at art school, they didn't really like the algorithms I was making. So they were like, that's not art. Like, that's not, go study art. But now that for that generative work to be in the museum is not just an amazing achievement for me, but also for generative art in general. It was very flattering to be invited and asked to work with Mercedes-Benz and fingerprints. I think the essence of machine is that with a few simple rules, an observation that I had of cars spinning backwards, that I was able to simulate this in a very celebratory way with like lots of complexity, lots of moving, colorful parts, where I am as surprised by what comes out as hopefully the viewers will be. The one meeting with Gordon Wagner, he mentioned like, why don't you do 3D? And I was like, and I first had like a smart answer of why I didn't do that, but then later on I was like, it's maybe actually a pretty good idea. So that was fun, to have kind of a back and forth. In this case, instead of using fully random numbers for the parameters, I trained a neural network. So I gave it multiple examples of configurations that I think look good. The name machine, Maschine in German, the German word, a few reasons. It starts with the M, just like Mercedes-Benz. But also I wanted it to be more like a general title, because even though it's inspired on rotating car wheels, it also refers to any kind of machine that has power and rotates. So in that sense, it maybe refers to the whole history of German engineering. I wanted to make something that really somehow makes sense with the brand. But on the other hand, I'm an autonomous artist. So when I make something, it has to be me. And gradually that converged into something that I think all parties can, I think we succeeded in that, to make something that I can stand behind, that I would also want to show in a museum. This project is really made in response to the context of Mercedes-Benz. I'm responding to what I think, what I like about automobile technology, and then to work with Fingerprints, who are, their collection is based on-chain crypto artworks, a large community of crypto collectors, NFT collectors, who are particularly interested in artworks that take advantage of the blockchain or have technological innovation. I'm still a little bit, it's been a secret for so long that I can I say it out in the open?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I really like that they have sort of allowed the artist to go any route the artist decided and didn't specify how it should be done. And yeah, unique. Even he said it himself. It's not just another like random 3D design of a car. Then is that what he said? Like someone asked him why he doesn't do a 3D design.
Well, he didn't want to do 3D initially, and then he came to this 3D perspective.
Okay, that's what he said. Okay, yeah. But still, anyway, very interesting. I like what they're doing. We'll see how they compare to one another and what options they start providing their communities. At the end of the day, I think it's going to be more about that and the utility that these auto manufacturers start bringing. We've seen some of them already tie it into their business more privately, where their records of service and everything is attached to an NFT and is stored in a blockchain. But yeah, I mean, with reward system, frequent visitors, it's I think these brands that grab onto the space so early on and establish themselves as a recognizable brand within the community are gonna excuse me, pardon me, are going to remain relevant, and maybe create a longer loyalty behind their brand going forward with some of these consumers. It's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is the evolution of car companies' interpretations on NFTs, right? We've seen them observe others and succeed and fail, mostly fail, and just kind of learning from those mistakes, right? And I think that's going to continue. And I like how they've said that this is their first iteration of an NFT, and like that they're likely going to do things and experiences a lot more in depth in the future. I think dipping your toe in this way, in a very organic and original way, is the right way to do it. I'm definitely behind them on this drop. This is going to be cool.
Yeah, let's see. It's gonna be. I don't know. I didn't find price. Like I said, they just released the art yesterday, so I don't know.
Oh, there's no price yet. Okay.
Well, because I haven't. Let me go back to their site for a second. I'll look, but why don't we talk about your FAQs? I'm gonna look at their FAQ and see if it says anything. What is minting? What is gas fees? We can get into your next topic if you want. I don't think it has that info yet, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about AR VR and Apple's influence on that reality. So let me share here.
Mercedes will be on Ethereum.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. I mean, one of the OGs being on the OG, it makes sense.
All right. AR.
Here we are. So this is just a super basic article that I found. This is just a reference image. There's no real backing to what this is going to look like. A lot of rumors floating around the Apple VR AR mixed reality headset. But I would just want to kind of open a conversation here with you, Ivan, about VR, AR, and like how you feel about it, what things you think it's going to be applicable to. Because I think, Apple coming out with something like this is really going to open the eyes of a lot of people on kind of the evolution of this technology. You know what I mean?
Or close, then depends on how you look at it. Yeah. I'm a big believer that AR will become part of everyone's daily life in many ways, and I think AR will eventually transition into more of a hologram and not have any sort of display that you got to wear. Sounds a little Star Wars or Star Trek fetched, but we have the technology, and technology only gets cheaper and cheaper, and we can see that in many ways. And I can't wait for the first mainstream AR goggles that get released, whether it's Apple or somebody beats them to them. I know there's been some smaller little brands that have tried to beat the big brands to the market just to get some market share, because there's still no equipment out there. But for the most part, they're just like a really large screen that you have in front of you when you put them on, and not a whole big functionality. I think functionality tying into other IoT and smart devices around us, the sky's the limit. We'll be able to be that much, and then tie AI to AR and that functionality. We're going to be so much more productive. Like, we'll be able to do 5 things at the same time. You'll be watching the news on one screen, and you'll be doing work, and maybe you're translating something elsewhere, and you have AI helping you with something else while playing a game and watching the sports, and I don't know, doing your homework or cooking dinner. And that's my vision of AR. And so I've been a big supporter for it. Can't wait. Rumors said, okay, it's coming. Then they said, no, it's not. It's just a matter of time. It's inevitable.
It is. That is the truth. It is inevitable. And I think your take on AR is spot on, Ivan. Just there being so many different use cases for it that right now don't even really seem likely to us. I mean, imagine not even needing to use, computer monitors to interact with the internet, or, a phone screen. Instead of there being a keyboard on your desk, you look down, and through your AR goggles, there's a little keypad that you just type on by just tapping right on the desk. There's a lot of different things that are going to become available and much more user-friendly than they might seem at the moment. And I think AR is going to be the thing that powers all of that. Being able to have unique experiences, like you said, with like sports or video games or any of those things, being able to interact throughout your normal day is going to be something that's life changing in my personal opinion. Being able to look different directions and see different things, or being able to basically have a HUD heads up display in real life, being able to see like your vitals, or maybe you're sick and it'll show your temperature and may like all kinds of different things that are like things that just seem super futuristic, video games, movie-ish, but it's the reality of what's going to be possible here within a few years, and with the help of AR VR technology. VR I'm a little less bullish on, but AR super excited.
Well, I think they kind of both exist a little bit hand in hand, and they're going to start crossing more. Where VR, we're starting to see VR integrate. There's that new technology. I forget what they're calling it. Pass through, or not see through, but pass through something rather technology, where it allows you to see and have alerts and sensors that will then show you on screen when you're in VR mode. And so AR would be the opposite. I think it will allow you to shut down the AR and go fully VR, so that if you are at the DMV, everyone's probably most favorite governmental office location to visit, and you're waiting 2-3 hours for be it a test or a renewal or whatever it is, you just put on your goggles. You can be on the beach reading a book, watching a movie, maybe even having a cocktail while sitting at the DMV. And when you consider what Elon Musk just got a patent for, the FDA approved his chip to what's the word? Implant the chip. So tie the chip to all of that, and now you can stimulate feelings all over the body with AR VR technology.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take the whole experience, this metaverse experience, to a whole nother level. Like right now, I don't even think we truly grasp, or when I say we, I mean the greater human population doesn't grasp what this AR VR transformation is actually going to look like. And I think you're right on the nose with that again, Ivan. It's like having that experience that's tied in with mechanical implementation within your body. I mean, our cell phones are already extensions of our body in the way that we work, like with our brain. And that's just taking it to the next natural step. And I know I'm not going to be the first in line to get a chip implanted into my brain or spend $10,000 on some AR glasses that look like normal glasses, but I am definitely going to be interested in being the 10th in line or the 100th in line, and seeing kind of where that sweet spot is for innovation. You don't ever want to be the beta testers stuck with the chip from the beta.
Yeah, that could explode. As we know, cell phone chips explode, so why not a chip in your head? But we can also look at the other side. Maybe something does happen and they start exploding, and this gets outlawed, and it doesn't go that way. And then or even yet another variation maybe that's possible. It's going to be interesting to see what happens at the end of the day. But if we consider what Robert Grant's building, and the fact that he's developed a lens that is self-powered, so you don't have to charge it. It's self-powered by the movement of your eyes, and he's building an immersive virtual metaverse that then you almost don't need that device or a hologram, because now we're becoming somewhat biometric. That put Elon's chip in, put Robert Grant's lens in. I'm not sure if that's public information. Hopefully, I didn't release too much, but it was shared with me last year. So he said they weren't testing in stages and waiting FDA approval or something, or maybe.
I have no comment. Don't sue me, Robert Grant.
I love Robert Grant, but I'm excited for it. That's why I was sharing it. Is I haven't heard that of a lens, AR lens, contact lens that is self-powered by
through the movement of your eye.
Through the movement of your eyelids, with a tiny built-in battery that is enough just to hold charge while generating, and you can turn it off.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's super cool. I have not heard of that either. I mean, that's definitely a huge feat if possible. I mean, we've all seen movies where, those you can see the holograms through the context lens or whatever it may be. The fact that could possibly be a reality within the next 10, maybe less years, that's super exciting for someone like me that just absolutely gets engulfed in technology. It's any way to make it more immersive and more convenient. That's the thing, is we saw the immersiveness go up with VR goggles, with the what's it called, the Oculus, but not a lot of people use them because it was so different from what we understand now. And I think that's why AR is going to hit so big, is that it's a stepping stone in that digital world that we're all eventually going to be moving to.
I see on there the price, $3,000.
That's what the rumor is, and it very well could be more than that. I mean, it is Apple, Ivan. It is Apple.
But like, Google's what was it? What was the Google device that came out with the Google Glass? Was it Google Glass? Yeah,
Google Glass.
They were about that kind of price range, I think, and
yeah.
I don't know why they didn't make it, and I thought that was promising, and I was hoping they'd stick around and get to a lower price, but they didn't.
No, it's just the product market fit isn't there yet, and what I think is going to happen with these Apple VR AR headsets is that it's going to become a lot more mainstream. It's hard for people to trust one singular company, and I know there's been lots of others that have done the AR VR stuff. But like one company being Oculus and all that's behind it, coming out and pushing something to mass market, and it just not really having any competition. So there's nothing to ever compare it to. And I think having that comparison mindset is going to be what pushes this industry forward. Now having the Apple headset and what they're going to learn from getting these early devices out. And I know that they've been there's been rumors that they've been in closed beta for a while. So what they learn from these early devices is going to play a lot into kind of where we go from here, because Apple's all experience oriented. Steve Jobs and his ethos of creating the ultimate user experience has not died at Apple. That's what they strive to do.
But like, go back to that picture there with the woman with the goggles. I can't imagine a bunch of people walking around with this stuff on until they're like, it's got to be see-through. Like the whole AR VR mixture thing. No, unless you're able to see through and not run into stuff.
Well, but see, that's the thing. Have you ever used an Oculus and been able and put it into the I don't even know what mode it's called, but you can see. It's not super clear, but I'm assuming they have a similar system with this, where it's like when it's off or when you have it in a certain mode, it's like a one-way glass. Like you can see through it, but people can't see in, so it's a little mysterious, and it's still kind of creepy in my eyes. But I definitely don't want people walking down the street like this thinking that they can't see you and they're just like watching you.
Yeah, more or less driving a car with it. Like, I mean, like,
right.
No.
That's a good point. That's the idea, for at least in my mind, is being able to ride in your self-driving Tesla or self-driving vehicle and just be, watching TV or watching, a sports game or anything you want on YouTube, just in your car with your AR glasses. And then, every 30 seconds when you need to touch the wheel, you just pop it off. You just go woo, 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 and then pop it right back on with one button. Like, that's what I would be doing. I know that.
If you got to attend to the wheel and having to pop something on and off, that's not enough reaction time, and those seconds could make life and death difference. No, I'm fully.
Maybe there'll be a mode where you blink 3 times and it turns off or something.
No, you blink once and you're dead. Like, sorry, no, not literally, but like that's what happens with getting in trouble behind the wheel. You got to pay attention at all times. That's why they don't want you distracted, listening to music, looking in the mirror, talking on your phone, text messaging. Anyway, that's a funny topic to argue about, but I do think that autonomous cars are gonna be a thing sooner than later. And yeah, at that point, by all means, get in the car with your VR headset on and go to town, as long as you're not touching that wheel. Like, I was hoping back in the 90s they were talking about the possibility of automating highways through magnets, where the vehicles didn't have to be automated. They would have to be, obviously, the ability for the magnet to pull them along. They would have to have those built-in features, and I was hoping they would do that, because it makes so much sense, because the majority of the traffic is because of people not following driving guidelines, and they drive too fast or too slow, or not paying attention.
Right.
And so I think it's going to make a full circle, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that's sort of the direction we're going. I was really hopeful about Elon Musk's boring company and what they could come up with, but it's a stepping stone thing. That's only one man trying to conquer a lot of the world's problems. You can't really have that be a successful outcome. But lots of things that are getting worked on in the background. And up here, I did highlight where was it? That they will be using the M2 chip with 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is pretty significant for a headset. That M2 chip is one of the most powerful chips on the market, in my personal opinion, and it's also going to be tied in with the render network. I'm curious to see how this is going to play in. That's a name that we really like at Sarson Funds, the render network, and what they've done with Apple and all the rumors that are swirling around there. So there's a ton of potential here. I'm super excited to see what'll come of this headset and kind of what paradigm shift follows, because something's going to happen when Apple steps in. It's usually something pretty significant. But yeah, that was a good little talk. I appreciate the back and forth there, Ivan. AR VR is something that I'm super interested in personally, just seeing how it develops and the way that the format that we actually get it in at the consumer level. It's going to be a lot different than it is, I think, now.
What's really cool, in my opinion, is that blockchain and Web3 functionality is the same in AR VR as it is outside of it and everything else we do. So it's gonna, our particular industry is gonna remain relevant, whether we're doing this on a monitor, on a hologram, or on a AR VR goggle set.
That's right. It's all possible everywhere. That's the best part about it.
All right on. I think we can call it a show there. I have another meeting I need to jump into, and this working thing never ends.
It never ends.
I'd like it to end sometimes. I really need a vacation.
You live in a vacation, Ivan. No, I'm just kidding. I know you need some time away.
That's what I say. I say I live in paradise, and then people ask me, why do you live in Florida with all the stuff that we got going on? Florida Man is one of my favorite cartoons. It doesn't exist. It needs to be made. They just released Florida Men show on Netflix, and I started watching it. I was so disappointed. I had such high expectations of a title like that. Netflix, what did you do releasing Florida Men and then making it that uneventful show that you did?
I mean, when I think of Florida Man, it needs to be crazy. It needs to be out there. We need to be getting cops involved, helicopters, large animals.
I think of Ivan with the giant American flag in the middle of a hurricane, waving it. It's like, welcome. I think his name's Ivan. That's why I said that. I didn't know that, for the record.
Oh my goodness.
or a man wrestling an alligator because it got in its way, or whatever.
Exactly. Oh, Florida Man.
Well, thank you for all that tuned in for another great episode of Smart Assets, if I can say so myself. Evan, always a pleasure to banter back and forth with you on all the various topics that we bring up. Did I use that word right?
Yeah, that sounded great.
And we do this every Wednesday possible. We try to do it every Wednesday, but sometimes we travel and what's going on, shows get canceled. But tune in 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays for Smart Assets. And until next time, we'll dissect some more Web3 stories.
Sounds good. Yeah. Have a great night, everybody. Have a good rest of your week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.